From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, September the 14th, 2017. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived in Mexico today, the last leg of his landmark Latin America tour. He met with the President of Mexico, Enrique Peña Nieto, and signed several agreements of understanding. Yesterday, Netanyahu met with Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos on his quick 3-hour visit to Bogota. Santos thanked Israel for providing assistance to his country. He said Israel has been a friend and ally of Colombia, and lately it has been a great ally in the construction of peace in our country, noting in particular Israel's help in several humanitarian areas, including in the removal of landmines. Netanyahu and Santos signed a tourism cooperation agreement and discussed several areas of potential cooperation, including agriculture, water management, and cybersecurity. Tomorrow, the Prime Minister flies to New York, where he is scheduled to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday. And on Tuesday, Netanyahu will address the United Nations General Assembly before heading back to Israel. Israel held an official memorial today for former Prime Minister and President Shimon Peres, marking his first yahrzeit, 1 year, according to the Hebrew calendar, since Peres' death at the age of 93 last September. Dignitaries from across the globe came to remember and pay tribute to Peres at Jerusalem's Mount Herzl, where he is buried in the Great Leaders of the Nation section. Guests included former British Prime Minister Tony Blair and former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin called the late leader an incessant dreamer and a determined leader. He said, "You never gave up on your daring beliefs and your belief in daring." Rivlin said, "Those words, belief and daring, describe your message to us all, that history is written by those who know how to imagine new horizons, even from within the confines of a closed room." Rivlin said there was still much to be done, but that the path that you paved, the dream you fought to realize, the hopes that you determined to fulfill, and your belief in them will be with this nation for generations to come, and you will continue to be a source of inspiration for us all. An international cycling event is coming to Israel next year. The Giro d'Italia cycling race will open its 2018 event in Israel, marking the first time any leg of the Grand Tours will take place outside of Europe. The 3-day portion of the race will reportedly be the biggest sporting event ever held in Israel. It will most likely begin in Jerusalem and then head to Tel Aviv, though details of the bike route will officially be announced next week. Well, a new high-tech teaching and research center was inaugurated yesterday in New York, Cornell Tech. It is a collaboration between Cornell University and the Technion, Israel Institute of Technology in Haifa. Some 500 people gathered at the ribbon-cutting ceremony at the campus on Roosevelt Island yesterday morning, including New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, Governor Andrew Cuomo, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, Cornell University President Martha Pollack, and Technion Institute President Peretz Lavi.
With this magnificent campus, Cornell and Technion are making clear statements. Practical knowledge, to paraphrase Ezra Cornell, is not inferior nor second to basic knowledge. They are the two sides of the same coin. This concept is part of the Technion's DNA and more broadly the state of Israel, known as Startup Nation.
And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, September the 14th at 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study with Mordechai Becker. At 7:30, New York Senator Chuck Schumer speaks at the American Jewish Committee's Global Forum. At 8, Guardian Angel founder Curtis Sliwa talks about the fight against the BDS movement. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Dr. Charles Jacobs on L'chaim. And at 10, authors Tuvia Tenenbaum and Peter Beinart debate American attitudes toward Israel, racism, and anti-Semitism in a program of the Jewish Theater of New York. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, it's the Israeli TV series Frenemies. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, September the 14th, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader.